right back.
Okay.
All right, welcome everybody to an exclusive interview here with Lamont Peterson. First off, congrats on the big win, Lamont. I bet it feels nice to have some gold around your waist again.
Yeah, but for sure it was nice to be back in that ring. It's a nice little break. I enjoyed it, but it's time to get back to work.
That break being so long, I mean, going forward, I can assume that we're going to be seeing a lot more of you, a lot more activity.
Yeah, hopefully. But boxing is definitely a business, and it takes two to tango, so we'll see.
This weekend, fights, big clash between Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman. I bet you'll be having a close eye on that one.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be one of their two mandatories, so hopefully, something can come of that. Me and the winner. I look forward to it as a fan, to it, a boxing, and should be a great fight, a 50-50 fight. And whoever come out the winner is going to make big steps to being the number one guy at welterweight.
Definitely. And when you look at that fight coming Saturday, if you had to pick a winner, who would you have?
I still cannot pick the winner. So like I said, it's a true 50-50 fight to me in my eyes. Just whoever, execute their game plan, or, whoever is in better shape that night, just come down to whoever wanted more that night. I can see both guys winning. I can see two different scenarios and both guys winning, so we'll just see who the better man is that night.
Assuming that Danny Garcia wins and you get that fight, which I would love to see a rematch the first fight. It was a really close, contended fight. What would you do differently against Garcia the second time around?
I'm not sure at this point. I know a lot of people think, okay, to just start off where I left off, and just put pressure on them from the beginning. But all that was part of the game plan, and it probably worked that way because I followed a good game plan. So I guess, just be back from square one, getting back in the gym, and coming up with another game plan. And I just have confidence that me and my team will, and we'll definitely probably get the W next time around.
All right. Got another writer on the line with us also, Jules. Whenever you're ready, Jules.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. First and foremost, Lamont, I want to thank you very much for your time and congratulations on a huge victory. It was a great fight, and congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, and no problem for coming on the show.
Of course. Now, once again, I know you mentioned that break. You had that win versus Felix Diaz, and that was about 2015, and pretty much had that 2-year layoff, with your title-winning efforts against David Avanesian. Were you afraid of the layoff may hurt your ring performance?
No. Mentally, I wouldn't allow that in my head. No, I've been in the gym working, and you can't say that. Only thing, I knew that, okay, had I been fighting, I probably would perform better. But just because I haven't fought in a while, it doesn't mean I'm going to perform bad. I try to focus on all the positive things and not worry about and let that stress me or get all. When you start thinking that way, you kind of let it happens that way. And I try to shy away from that and try to stay positive and think like, I've been in the gym, I've been sparring, so I'll look sharp, I'll be sharp, and I try to keep my mind focused as I could. But, just looking back on it, of course, had I been fighting, I believe I would have done better, but I wasn't mad at my performance at all. It was just good to get back in there and work on some things and get some rounds in. Just so that, getting the contact again, and it was a good feeling to do all that, and just great to be back in the ring.
Of course. One of the things I also noticed, and I was very impressed with your body work when you were fighting David Avanesyan, and you were really going to the body and really stopping him in his tracks. Was that the plan that you and Barry Hunter really set up for you guys to go into the ring, just hitting that body a lot and trying to slow him down?
Yeah, for two reasons. Obvious reason, David kept his hands up pretty high, and he didn't really have long arms to kind of cover the torso and the head. So I knew it would be a gap in between the waistband and his elbows. I try to target that area as much as I can, and just to cut down on, because of the long layoff, your timing normally is off. The body is much bigger target than the head, so it's better suited and percentage-wise to go downstairs.
Of course, Lamont. And I also, you've been in the sport for a very long time, veteran in the sport, multi-time champion. You've been in the rings with guys like Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse, Amir Khan. What keeps you going in such a hard sport? Are you still trying to prove something to yourself and to the fans, going on? Or are you just saying, you know what, I need one big win, or bigger win rather, to cap off your career? What keeps you going?
Just the love of the sport, and just something about me. When I'm into something, I'm really into it, and I always want to try to get better at what I'm doing. I'm not really worried about any, big fights. If they come, great. If not, then I understand this is a business, and sometimes it just don't work out that way. So I'm not really so much focused on, how much time I got left, how much money I can make until I retire, or anything like that. Just what keeps me going is the pure love of the sport.
Definitely, Lamont. And once again, obviously, as Lucas pointed out earlier, you got some gold back in your waist. It's good to see you back in the championship mix. We have two other fighters who are going to be fighting, Kell Brook versus Errol Spence. And, obviously that's a big fight as well. Would you be looking to take on the winner of that fight as well if you couldn't get a rematch with Garcia or the winner of Garcia versus Thurman?
Yeah, of course. Any top guy in the division, belt holder or not, I'm looking to have a fight with them. If it makes sense on our end and on their end, then we'll definitely do it. So yeah, them two will definitely be. I'll definitely take a fight with those two men.
Definitely, and I know we kind of touched on the subject of big fights. We got a big fight rumored to be happening up next month, Khan versus Pacquiao, and you being in the sport for a very long time. Would you see yourself getting in the ring with those guys as well? Do you feel that you deserve a big fight, and the winner of Khan versus Pacquiao, if that comes into fruition, would that be a fight that you'd want as well?
Like I said before, any top guys, and those are two top guys, and I'll definitely, if it come my way, I'll definitely take those two on too.
All right, great, Lamont. Much appreciated. Actually, last question. I don't want to take too much of your time there. Your shorts have been getting a lot of popularity for that vintage look. Were you going for that vintage look? Because personally, I loved it. I loved the homage to Ray Robinson. So was that your plan?
That was definitely the plan. And actually, it just felt comfortable. It's much more comfortable than wearing some big, heavy shorts. And then when you start getting sweaty, they get heavier, hold more sweat. So I definitely was comfortable with it, but I definitely wanted the throwback look. And with the style of fight that I was going to fight that particular fight. But honestly, you look forward to the retro shorts more.
Wonderful, Lamont. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for your time, and we look to seeing you and your brother back in the ring. It's an absolute pleasure to speak with you, and look forward to you guys getting back in there.
Okay, Dad. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. I got kind of one more question. I mean, Jules touched on it a little bit, but
Okay.
for example, Pacquiao has reached out to your friend Adrian Bronner. He's reached out to Danny Garcia. And arguably you have just as good or better competition. Do you kind of feel overlooked when it comes to some of those big money fights?
I know I try not to get into that stuff. Again, boxing is a business, and I guess it doesn't make business sense to him. I won't feel any type of way about it. Like I said, I fight for love, pure love of this sport, and that's it. That's all at this point. Coming into the game, I thought things would be a certain way, and I felt a certain way about certain things. But just being in here, being in the professional games for 12 years now, and for me, I'm a person who accepts reality, and then sometimes things are just what they are. You just learn to accept it, and you move on.
Fair enough. Well, we definitely appreciate you coming on. Look forward to seeing what you can do in the future, and maybe even possibly winning me some more money, Lamont.
Yeah, hopefully. And we'll definitely speak again.
All right. Thank you, Lamont.
Uh-huh.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Didn't mean to cut him off. My bad. Didn't know Andre was going to be coming back on there, but definitely a good interview, and I want to appreciate Lamont and Jules and everybody for coming on. Now, Jules, going forward with this, do you believe that he will actually get the winner? I mean, it is PBC, so there's a good chance that their guy who just won can go on and take on either Garcia or Thurman.
You know what, Lucas? I don't see why not. Us as boxing fans, we know Lamont Peterson is a name. He's been around for a very long time. As you just said, he's with PBC. And right now, I think they're looking to put on exciting fights where people want to see it. So I don't see why he shouldn't get the winner. I would love to see a rematch versus Garcia. It was a very close fight. A lot of people said that Peterson did enough to win. And I feel that even if, let's say, for example, he doesn't rematch Garcia, him versus Thurman is also an extremely intriguing matchup as well. So I could see him getting the winner, and having a big unification bout set up between one of those guys.
Me too. It's very interesting, and I really hope to see it. But I don't, not for sure, of course, that he'll get it. But like he said, it's a business. You just never know. However, you got to think about all these things that are going on in the mix right now. Like I asked him about, Pacquiao-Khan. I mean, he did beat Khan. And his buddy Adrian Bronner has not looked, the best lately, I would say. Peterson definitely has looked better in his wins as of late. Even in his loss versus Garcia, I mean, he still looked really well. So it does seem to me, even though he's being humble, that Lamont Peterson is overlooked. I mean, and especially a lot of those big money fights. I haven't really seen a bad Peterson fight. I mean, sure, maybe when he walked over Kendall Holt, that was still good though until the end there, like a little quick maybe, but but other than that, I mean, it was a great fight. His loss to Matisse was bad, but you can't deny that he bounced right back from it.
Yeah, Lucas, of course. And one of the things about Lamont Peterson, I have to give him his credit. He's always resilient. He's one of those guys where even after a loss, he's coming back. I mean, even so, he's on a 2-fight winning streak, and, he looked very impressive after a 2-year layoff. And that's one of the things where I was concerned about. We hear about ring rust and how it affects fighters. And Lamont Peterson, being off for almost about 2 years, proved that, at the high level, I'm always training, I'm always at the gym, and I'm always ready to go at it. So he looked great. I would love to see him against, any of the top guys at 147. I can actually, believe it or not, I could see him if Brooke beats, if Spence beats Brooke, I could see Errol Spence facing Lamont Peterson. Spence looks like the guy, like he wants to take on all comers. He wants to unify. So I could see that fight, and that would be extremely intriguing to see Errol Spence versus Lamont Peterson. I don't know who to pick. I'm going to be honest with you. I am on the Spence gravy train, so I may lean towards Spence. But, Peterson, once again, consummate pro, really showed a lot of aggressiveness and a lot of body work in his last win. So I could see him really entertaining a Spence bout as well.
Yeah, regardless, he has a lot of options now. Welterweight is constantly packed, so it's just a fruition of talent there for him to choose from. But PBC has its own, talent to select from as well. So there's not going to be any shortage of guys for him to go after. But he's really saying he's taking on all comers. I was expecting maybe a little bit more from him. He seemed like he's going to leave, the business aside. I was actually almost expecting him to call somebody out, but I guess in a way he did. He called out everybody.
Yeah, once again, Lamont Peterson is one of those fighters, and you have to respect it. He does his talking in the ring. That's his whole thing. He's like, put him in front of me, I'll beat him. And you have to respect him. Granted, I know that in boxing, we always gravitate towards the fighters to talk the most smack, and it's one of the things where a lot of people have been, enamored with guys like Floyd Mayweather, and even back then, Muhammad Ali. We want to see our guys say, I'm the best, I'm the baddest, nobody could beat me, and call out certain people. And Lamont Peterson's like, listen, you know what? I don't want to call out anybody. Whoever they put in front of me, I'll just, I'll knock them down. And that's one of the things where I'm not saying that it's gonna, it's hurt his career, because he's gotten big names, without having to do that. He's fought, as I said, he's fought the Amir Khans, he's fought Matisse, he's fought Garcia, he's fought big names without having to say, I can knock out everybody and there's nobody better than me. So he has that right to say, I'll just do the business side and let